Clickety clack. You'll never escape the clicks. The clicks are eternal. My cookie clicker finger is ready for nothing, apparently. I don't know what I'm going with on that. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. It is the Biendeo stream today on this fine 14th of April, 2025. I hope you're having a wonderful week, and we'll have a wonderful week ahead of you. I am super lethargic. I tell you, I'm like, oh, man, you know, like, I'm like 60% awake this entire day, which is very odd. So I think I need a nice full night's rest. But you know what? You know, won't sleep. Da-da-da-da. Wah. 40% dead. Well, sort of. Greetings, Blob. How's it going? But yeah, no. To be fair, I always look forward to a stream. So even though I say, sup, Levi? Dude, the gang is all here. The gang is all here. We are all prepped. Ready for the Spyro face. Fetty, I know you wanted me to play the definitive edition patch. Oh, true. Chris is missing. There's a bunch of others as well. Yeah. And I gave it a go, and all the changes are so subtle that you will not pick up on them in a playthrough. The one change I did, like, there's a lot of casual ones. Like, for example, you can skip the titles. You can skip those titles there. I can't skip it. There's various animations that are fixed and sound things, and you'll probably see fewer of the game's flaws, but most of the content is like very, very small. Like, you'd have to know that it wasn't there before, basically. There's lots of nice things as well. There's some performance tweaks, like having things load in and out. No, but I wanted to play the version where the levels would unload in the wrong places, and the ones where the dialogue plays in the wrong spots, and the ones where you keep hearing portal sound effects in the back. This very game, someone had released a bug fix ROM hack. So yeah, but and it is this particular version. I do wish, first of all, Gutsy Cole, by the way, because he distributes it via an entire. It has the definitive edition has a cheat. Well, it's got the skill points, which kind of. Not really too noteworthy. Like, one of them is like flame moneybags 10 times. One of them is beat the hunter minigame when you catch the octopus. They are. I'm not sure if they save. Either that or they always save. And you know, just the game itself never implemented like unlocking them in the first place. We could do that. Although I remember. I'll double check to see if, like, he's actually there. We will check anyways. We'll do a final sweep through this game. But yeah, this, I mean, this will be the last stream of this game. This will be a nice, casual, hi there.
You did it! Wow! You're even shiftier than me! That's enough magic to make this car fly up and away! Hop aboard!
Well, in terms of, like, actually playing along to a retro achievement set, no. No, I'll have a stream on the 28th. I'll be back on the 28th. Don't worry about that. So we will get another stream. But yeah, there's no stream next week because it's Easter Monday, and I always skip Easter Monday. Also, this one may unfortunately be a shorter stream, but we'll see. We've still got 2 whole levels, and there's a final boss fight, and I gotta show something at the end. I forgot what I was gonna show. Oh, there's a couple of things. But yeah, the DE version, maybe. Also, I remember this level being a little more, like, than your typical Enter the Dragonfly level. It's a very neat concept. I'll precursor by saying that just after I finished Doom 1 and 2, they released a patch earlier this last week.
The Riptop Wizards have turned our treasure into monsters! Can you do anything to help us?
Maybe? I don't say too much. Yeah, no, exactly, because, oh, leggy eggy right there. They're immune to dragon breath. Oh my gosh, the wing shield finally gets a use. Did you remember that I unlocked that? You know, the thing where you have to hold a... What is it? Both L2 and R2? There you go. But yeah, so I like some of the art assets in this place, but oh boy, the performance is like an absolute, you know, joy. Quest for Glory series, only by name. Oh, sorry, I gotta block this guy's attacks. Oh, maybe I'm standing a bit too close. Only by name. Oh, hi, are you hitting him? Oh, there we go. There we go. Caught him. I don't know what's with the water. We have to do it. Finish the thought about Doom. Okay, finish the thought about Doom. So yeah, so a couple of days ago, they officially added Sigil 2 into that list of I guess level, you know, releases at the beginning. So Sigil 2 is now officially an official Doom release, which means technically my Let's Play playthrough from a few weeks ago, is a little bit out of date. Only a little bit. That was the only real thing. Because I didn't like it, and I tend to do YouTube recommend me a video titled How Speedrunners Broke Quest for Glory 2, which is 70 minutes. Interesting, interesting. Holy crap, by the way. Is this guy going to get hit by his own projectiles? Yeah. Oh my... There you go, straight in the forehead. Yeah, I mean, I was worried that, like, even playing some of the other ones, like, I didn't remember master levels to actually be, like, too interesting. Turns out Plutonia was the one that I was like, oh, okay, it was probably the most mid out of all the releases. Yeah, no, I'll look that up after the stream, or even in the middle of the loading screen, because they're very long. TNT and Plutonia both have sequels, but they're not in that, like, official, you know, like, what is bundled with the game in terms of a download. I think TNT also has like some fan projects. There's also ones by the same people who worked on those, just outside. There's lots of really good megawads. Various ones of them have been added to the official, I guess, community. How would I put it? I'm not playing H2 on stream. I believe Grezzo 2 is one of the infamous banned Twitch games. I'm not even... maybe H-Doom is explicitly mentioned, but Grezzo 2 is, you know, it's an Italian, like, treasure. We'll say that. Skylanders series. Yes, Skylanders is technically Spyro. It also has Crash Bandicoot in it for some bit of time. I don't know how the like campaigns for Skylanders goes. Like, how did they patch it over time, or is it just like they made it and you just couldn't play it until you had the figurine? Hi, enemy who's not attacking me because I am maybe not too close. There we go. Okay, just a bit more to the right, I guess, or is he's always just missing? I gotta keep walking slightly off to the side. There are 10 of these enemies in the level. Quest for Glory 2 made me realize how many old games use the 1001 Nights Arabic stuff. It's always interesting. I always like the concept of just sort of like mixed culture releases and that kind of stuff. And especially around the exoticism, like, which isn't that, like, I don't know, it feels a little, oh my goodness, what is happening here? I don't think there's anything I can do to aim this. It just sort of either goes towards me or not. Brutal Doom uses GZ Doom or Z Doom extension, so Doom 1 plus 2 is not, you know, using Z Doom. In theory, I think Z Doom has, you know, become compatible with the, oh, there we go, finally. Z Doom has probably become compatible with the changes made in Doom 1 and 2, because there are additions to the spec. But, yeah, that one is very much vanilla. I don't know what the Z actually does mean. You're missing an O there. You're missing an O there. Dude, the fact that we have gems that, like, have to be flamed is just like... This level is going to be a bit of a go. Like, it's not too bad, but oh boy, these enemies are just like a chore. Very violent. There we go. But yeah, no, I might return to it, or I might do it as a little bonus stream whenever. We'll see. But I don't want to, like, you know, be doing. And I was thinking to myself, it's like, man, like, sort of really using up my FPS budget because I really want to play lots of genres of games, and there's lots of FPS. You know, fun example. You want the enemy projectiles to have good hitboxes so players don't feel cheated. Well, it's not even... I don't even think it's like... Because the projectile just goes wherever. I don't think it particularly depends on which direction I'm facing. Because, like, hold on, I'm going to face, like, very off to the side. And it still goes the same direction every time. Oh, maybe it doesn't. Oh my gosh, maybe it is actually aimed. Okay, I'm learning. I'm learning. But it is such a weird... I'm blaming the game for my mistakes, but also it is kind of weird. It is kind of weird. Yeah. Well, it sort of works. Was it well communicated? Maybe. I mean, I knew that I had to use the shield, so I got there in the end. But yeah. So, I have to make a retraction from last week because the news updated. I mentioned... I mentioned that the Switch 2, because the whole stream was talking about the Switch 2, it cost more than a PS5 without the disc drive. Thank you, Sony, for issuing an update to the pricing of the PS5, because as of less than 24 hours ago, now that's not true. The PS5 is more expensive. Again, the disc drive, the discless version, now costs 750 Australian dollars, which is the same price as the disc version when it came out. Now there have been 2 price revisions. I think the version with the disc is now 830. It was 750, then 800, and now 830. $750 dues. That's our official currency, the $. The Switch is launching at 700, and I really hope, like, I feel that 700 is a fairly high number, but yeah, thank you Sony for that one. I think the Xbox Series X is still the same price, so I guess that's okay. I don't know, actually, did they raise the price once? Oh, we have to talk about Marathon. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Marathon. Yeah, so let's mention Marathon. First of all, I have played like 7 levels of the original Marathon. I never grew up with it, and I played the original Marathon, and by the original I mean played the Steam re-release of it, because very, very nice. If you are interested in Marathon at all, I would 100% recommend just downloading the first and second games and giving them a go on Steam. Or are they on GOG? I think they might be on GOG, but they're actually like free. They're doing what Bethesda did with the Elder Scrolls Arena and Daggerfall, which is, who cares? Just, you know, put it on there, because it's like, I don't know, support's like really limited anyways. If you're selling it, it's like people sort of expect it to work. But they are doing third game's on Steam too. Oh yeah, the third one's on Steam, yes. Yeah, FIFA, I remember as well, I saw an article, like I had a mate ask, like, is FIFA, this may be one of the most annoying Dragonflies I've gotten in this game. But yeah, no, I remember seeing an article which was FIFA 25, well not FIFA, but EA Sports Football Club 25 costs $70 US, which would have been, what, 100, 110. Yeah, I am surprised that they haven't re-announced GTA 5. And it's weird, because Red Dead Redemption 1 is on the Switch. Remember when they re-released that, and it specifically was PS4 and Switch exclusive for a year, and I was like, what? No PC version. There we go, first try.
Hey, it's Jordan.
There we go. Dude, 5-star in that song for the first time was like absolute pride moment right there, I tell ya. Started watching Super Mario 64 long play because we finished the Sunshine one. That's very... Dude, I love that. I wish... And this is not a dig at my parents, but it's like, man, they were not at all sharing my interest in games that I had. They were supportive in the sense that, like, they'd let me play on my Game Boy and all that stuff for much longer than the typical parent would let their child do. But anytime it was like, hey, you want to play a game with me? And they'd be like, nah. I did convince my mum to play Wingspan, which is not a video game, it's a board game, but... and then she was like, it's very complex. And I was like, but you won, Mum. You won. Old Harry Potter PC games. Oh, see, when I was too scared to play a game, my mum would just, like, not care. I'm afraid to play Cards Against Humanity with my mum, I tell ya. Her sense of humor and my sense of humor, like, at least in terms of that game. Oh, I can't tell where he's attacking, so we're gonna hope that this rebounds the right way. He loves watching stuff. Oh, I did hit him. I saw the counter go down. What's with these ripples? They're just out of nowhere. It's not like the rest of the water reacts to you. Dire Doc's freaking portal right here. She enjoys being the second player. That's cool though. I was gonna say I'm not freaking I'm not playing Cards Against Humanity with my parents there. Oh, maybe my dad will be okay with it, but yeah, no, my mum is like, how dare you? What a game has to be like to be enjoyable to watch. There's definitely some games that are definitely like just they're not like the greatest to watch at all, but then there's some that are.
You know, if I could swim, I'd dive under that water and press the switch to open that door up there.
It's your base!
Unfortunately, I forgot my water wings. Again. Say,
Again.
Maybe you can do it.
Oh my god. Hi, what?
Watch out for the pool cleaner. It's dangerous!
I didn't even hit triangle, I just sort of ran past them, but yeah. How many games exist? It's just like with movies and books. Oh, exactly. Although my mum is very picky with movies, and then she likes a decent action movie, but we always struggle when it comes to like family time, and it's like, hey, let's find a movie to watch. So I will try to find one. I did have a good movie recommendation I watched recently. I watched Millennium Actress, which is who's the guy? I've forgotten his name, but he directed like 4 movies. Wolf of Wall Street with a Family. My mom takes the plots too seriously and then goes like, these writers must be demented if they could think of this. This is a very weird feature. Satoshi Kon, yes, exactly, yes. But yeah, no, I watched that one, and I was like, this is 100% something my mom would love. Not sure if she would vibe with animated stuff, but she will get into it eventually. I always find that's weird, yeah. The non-gamer mums in the 90s. Mum gave a scene-by-scene analysis. Ooh. Only got to like level 3. Yeah, I wish my mum... One day I'm going to teach my mum how to play... what would be the one? Usually Portal 2. I always see Portal 2 as like a really great like gateway game if you're not into video games. Because the presentation is like top notch. You really want to play something that like isn't too, you know, like in the moment forcefully demanding. But you do. The only thing with Portal 2 is that you have to understand like twin stick and a lot of 3D spatial awareness, or mouse and keyboard if you're using that. Again, here's another example of the rooms are too big. I just want to like run up the slope. Instead, there's a key just here. Okay. Like Val as an adult, not just an adult, but mum playing video game and being infinitely better. Probably as a kid, I would have been, like, dreadful at games as well. Just say, but Mom, it's online. That would always come up as well. When we were in LA, I was trying to light up a cigarette, but it was windy and she snatches it from my mouth. Lights inhaling. Okay, alright. And then she's like, don't you know these are bad for you? Or something like, I don't know if that's what she sounds like. My mom would do like an accent just to do that. I hate to me, but not paying attention to your gameplay right now really comments. Well, exactly. There's really nothing going on here, and I'm like trying to jump onto like these platforms thinking that there even is something on them, and then I realize it's not even a platform. I took like 2 jumps. I think the one thing is that the music is so low-key. The Simpsons in Spanish. The music is so low-key, and I keep sort of tempting the wall, and then the game is like, oh, did you mean to go down? I was like, not at all, but okay. But I think like part of what really like makes this game below par is that it's not paced very well. There's a lot of reasons why, but like this level, that's just frustrating that that fell down as well. Listen, man, I will come for it later. Actually, no, coming for it later is going to be kind of painful. At least it floats on water. At least it floats, but like, that's what I mean. A lot of things are put in this game in a rather haphazard and thoughtless. That is true, but he was also near a ledge, and almost all Spyro games are very generous and don't have the gems fly off in the distance. They usually drop exactly where they are. Sometimes they're attracted to the, you know, to higher platforms as well. There's quite a few of them where they're like, yep, the gem will not fall down this ledge. But yeah, part of like where this you ran across a big plane with a simulated field and a tree several times last stream. Yeah, that's a quite... Oh my gosh, like these shots are just going through this guy. Real talk, I think I've like 60% looked at like the chat without even understanding the appeal of high ground. That is true. Oh! Okay. My theory is correct in a very inopportune location. But yeah, like, I mean, you know, you walk around, you pick up gems, you sort of keep trying your best to pick up the gems, but like nothing in the game is really like testing my ability to platform. There's a little bit of like, you know, ones here and there. It's like, oh, okay, I'm getting this, you know, like some of this happens here, but like, just as a heads up, this is the second last level of the game. What really makes it seem, and this is always the like statement of like, is this game rushed? 100% it is, but like, they have the ideas, but then they never really went back and went like, what's like the best parts? Let's trim out some of the cruftier bits. Also, shout out to Doom again, because I'm slowly realizing why I fell in love with the... Oh, exactly. Gem fell off, so we're gonna see my gem count go up. Also. But yeah, no, Doom's level design was great, because you're always thinking about the space in Doom. Whereas here, it's just like...
Hey, it's Marty.
Well, yeah, exactly. I actually don't know what's the timeline that they had. But yeah, they had like too many platforms and ideas mid-level. And then they just sort of, yeah, Hitman again. Which Hitman, by the way? 2016 or so, those ones. I do really want to like replay that one again. It's just something with this like level direction, because I think, yeah, there's a portal over here. 2016, that one, yeah. With the Hitman 3 version of that, yeah, exactly. The World of Assassination. Because yeah. Although technically, we never had a Hitman just raw title. We had Hitman Codename 47, or Codename 47 Hitman, which is a shockingly rough game, by the way. Oh, and freeze them, because it's wood, I guess. This is such a cursed platform, because if you fall down, it's like, yeah, okay. Why is it shaped like this? I'm pretty sure that 2 of the bonfires are also, like, down there. Maybe? Are they? No, they're over here. Why is the portal in the middle? Oh. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I gotta give that one a re-go, because I feel like I didn't give it the benefit of the doubt. I was sort of like, oh my gosh, how am I meant to understand these levels? And it's like the whole point is trial and error. And here we have a dragonfly, very nice.
Hey, it's Marta.
Yeah, what was my favorite level in the regular 2016? Because I haven't played the 2 sequels. I think I really did like it was the level with the kind of the embassy, and you had to go in and kill a guy in the embassy in this one spot, and you had like the whole like city area as well. Was that the same level? I hope it was the same level. Did you buy one? It might have been Dubai. An interesting part about that map is the intricate NPC interactions, but if you don't make use of those, the map is really boring. Yeah. Marrakesh is in game 1. Yeah, okay, that's the one I'm thinking of. And that gem has gone off the cliff again. Don't know how many gems are in the next level off the top of my head, but given that I think there's what, 8,000 gems in the game, and actually even better, we can just look, and we've already spent, yeah, oh no, there's 7,000. Oh, we're nearly done with this level. Okay, it's only 600 in the next level. Wow. And we already spent 200, so the number in the top left is off by 200 every time. So we are down to the last 800 gems in the game already, and it's only 27 minutes 50 in the stream. And I didn't even talk about Marathon, so I'm going to mention Marathon. Marathon is Sony's attempt at rekindling the success that was Concord, which sounds very hyperbolic. Marathon is a game, and I would highly recommend just playing the original Marathon, because it's not really much of a cost, and I don't think it's a high art kind of game. I think some people maybe give it some ridiculous praise because it came from Bungie, and Bungie can do no wrong. I love Halo. Halo is amazing. It is literally free, yes. I do think that there is a problem about clouding Judgment. Saw some video tiles on YouTube. Yeah, they recently sort of shadow dropping the price increases of the console in the middle as well. But they showed OG Marathon. Yeah, it's a boomer shooter from '94, I believe. It's got some fancier elements. It's got a couple of non-Euclidean geometry, just very, very lightly. They don't use it too much. The enemies are really whack in that one as well. There you go, okay. I think Mandalore Gaming did a review on it way back. Yeah, like I might commit to finishing it at some point just to like really try and gauge what's in it. But yeah, it's a curious one. I was struggling with the ammo system in it. I was really struggling with like making sure I wasn't running out of ammo for all my weapons. But yeah, like, you know, it's a boomer shooter, and especially a boomer shooter from I guess before or at the same time as Doom really taking off. I love that this is how they designed that platform there. And it's on the Mac, so a lot of Mac people would have loved it, and that is a very fair point. Like, platform exclusivity, well, not exclusivity because I believe it, you know, it does have a DOS release, but like being available on platforms that typically don't get other games is very, very nice. Yes, there's a lot of lore, so certainly, like you know, there's terminals and stuff that you can find that definitely do describe, you know, events and things like that, and that's definitely more than what Doom would do. And yeah, it's sort of like, isn't it like contextually, Halo is somewhat Actually, no, they don't overlap, right? It's just, you know, the strategies. I like how this ledge is just here, like, it's just like, yeah. In Halo, the marathon. Ah, okay. Today I learned. Today I learned. I've only played Halo 1, so... And lots of people will talk about the library, and I'll be like, I really wanted that level to be done. And that's it. That's all I know about Halo 1. I played through it, and I can probably tell you that, like, I didn't love it. I don't know. Yeah. It's a bit interesting, I guess, because, in theory, the Marathon license has followed Bungie, the studio, but Halo has stuck with Microsoft Game Studios, the publisher, which is now Xbox Game Studios, I believe. They've rebranded that. So, the gem fell into the abyss, did get kept up. If gems fall into the abyss, they get auto-collected after a bit. I believe that's the vibe. But, it's so... And I love how I am missing more gems. Like, I don't quite know where I was missing them, but I've got the gem radar, which is sparks pointing in the right direction when I hit the sticks. The fact that it happens so much is ridiculous, because, I always love noting this, and I know it's not a Spyro game, but, like, Metroid Prime has no bottomless pits. You can make your game, like, without pits, or without, like, that kind of, you know, that kind of punishment, which is very remarkable. And, I feel like, yeah, like, you could, you know, maybe you could design your game such that the enemies aren't laying gems right next to pits all the time. Or at least the ones that will fall. Like, what is this ledge? What are we doing here? I almost, like, face through it. But this is towards the end of the level, which is just here. Like, I really don't know what direction they, intend for me to, like, yeah. You can do, oh, near the ledge? Well, good thing I fell off, because, turns out there's, like, 2 checkpoints in this level, apparently. Saw the video title from Belula News. I don't watch the guy. Saw my piece from Blizzard might be on sale. I mean, in theory, some IPs from Ubisoft have already been on sale, and I'll mention Ubi Booby again in a moment. But no, it's all good. So, no, it's all good. It's all good. Oh, my eyes! Ah, what happened there? No, it's all good. Mentioning it is good, because then you can, like, call back on it later and be like, ah, that! There's also one of the wizards lying around this level as well. Yeah, I know, right? That happens on real hardware. I swear that's not just the emulator bugging out. I've played this game on real hardware. I can assure you, it runs... Oh, hold on. There you go. I was like... Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so Marathon. Sony is making this game a not free-to-play battle pass. Well, it is a battle pass title, but it's not free-to-play. You got to pay for it. They said it will not be $70. Interpret that as you will. In theory, it could be $69.99, but obviously, you know, probably not. Most likely, it'll be a and it is an extraction shooter, and I have more on that in a little bit, but it will be most likely. A lot of people are predicting it'll be yeah, I was like, it could be $80. I think they said less than 70, so, but yeah, they'll probably aim for $40. I think that's sort of been their strategy, and I don't think Concord failed because it was $40. It failed because it wasn't free.
The wizard Riptalk has captured a dragonfly. Use your lightning breath to activate all the triggers and lower the wizard's tower.
Wizard's tower?
Enter the wizard's platform maze.
I at least appreciate he speaks his dialogue quickly. This reminds me of another level. How is the frame rate chugging looking in that direction, by the way? There's no, like... A lot of these platforms are repeat platforms as well. Also, wow, this is going to be a bit of a chore, isn't it? I have a friend group, my closest friends, we trained each other to really pay attention to work. Oh. Okay, well, good thing I fell 3 of them, okay. $40 is $40 too much. Well, yeah, the biggest problem I have is, first of all, it's not $40, it's $40 battle pass, microtransaction, whatever. I don't care that, like, people will claim they're optional. It's like freaking, it's just like padding out there. It's just like, what is going on there? I know you can ignore it, but it's just like, yeah, I can ignore the game as well. You know what I mean? Like, if I buy the game, I kind of feel a bit miffed when I'm not getting the whole game. Like, what's sort of the point of, you know, really buying into it if it's like, oh, you know, and you're also missing, like, this tiny little bit of extra content, which is like, oh, you know, like a battle pass is like, in theory, not much other than contextual rewards and cosmetics and stuff like that. Oh, what the heck? Gotten a lot better at general picking up corpo lies. Exactly. I think everyone can, you know, like, over time grows those. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The game was rigged from the start. A lot of people pick up on that, and I also... yeah, well, FOMO is always ridiculous as well. What about the game itself? So it is an extraction shooter. I think they showed up... My gut feeling was it just kind of looked like Apex to me. And I know Apex is not an extraction shooter, but, like, people got down and you have to stand next to them for 28 seconds until they get back up. You're shooting down sights and other kind of, you know, iron sights, whatever, through various assault rifle, shotgun kind of archetype weapons. There's nothing really too deep or big about those. And I'm still kind of bummed that there's not a single Battle Royale shooter other than Fortnite that has rocket launchers. Can I just, you know, just get him here? Oh! I would love if I could just shortcut the entire level as well. I want to try that again though. But yeah, it definitely looks like a regular shooter, like a really regular one with the squad. And I would strictly call out Apex. I believe since it's an extraction shooter, they're going to pull the PvPvE angle where it's like, oh, okay, there's some enemies that you got to shoot, but then there's also, well, yeah, oh, yeah, it doesn't look like Marathon, first of all. I just add that. For me to overcome FOMO in games, it took me burning out. Well, yeah, I think everyone's got to get burnt out by something in order to really experience, like, not buying it ever again. For me, I actively played... I don't think I ever really bought into Battle Passes. I think I paid once for Rocket League, and then I carried it over for a few seasons, and then I was like, yeah, I'm good. Like, that's it. Hold on, this swing's up and out. Yeah, I am curious if I can jump there. I wish you could do the charge jump from Spyro 2, you know? That'd be cool. But yeah, burning out in Guild Wars 2 and then returning a long time later and realize you didn't miss out on anything. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh. Help. Okay. I know I'm playing Infinity Nikki right now, but I'm sort of like... Oh, this isn't synced up anymore. I can't do that jump. Okay. Why is the platform so high up? That's a me thing. That's a me one on that one. I'll get there. I'll get there. We call this padding. What do you think about the art style? I don't hate... I think I saw a comment that said I've never seen a game look both so colorful and so washed out at the exact same time. And I think it's like something about how all the colors are very muggy. The lighting is very like flat. It's better than Concord. Well, here's the thing. I was like, take a shot every time you see an alien in this Marathon game. I think they only mention them in passing at the very, very beginning of the trailer. Like, as in, like, someone goes, oh, snap, that's a character from the game. I don't know why I'm taking another crack at it. Oh, no. Okay, okay, no more funny business. We're actually doing it this time. Enter the wizard's platform? Yeah. But yeah, no, It doesn't really scream out to me as really standing out that much, though. I mean, what were they even thinking with Concord? You don't name it after the plane that is more famous than the disastrous. Well, at least yeah, true. But at least, you know, Marathon is an existing game franchise. And I think they're probably going to try and wing some of its marketing based on that. But I have a couple of interesting takes. One is, first of all, no one remembers Marathon, and them making, like, free re-releases of Marathon is great for me, who plays boomer shooters. But, legit, a lot of people probably gonna look at that and go, huh. And they're not, like, gonna connect 2 and 2 and realize that, like, oh, it's 2 different games. Or is it meant to be 2 different games? Marathon, very grounded to the name. Well, exactly, yeah, like, Concord is, like, what is the name? I mean, it does work. Like, it's like Overwatch is, you know, like an otherwise generic name, but, you know, if you market it well, you can make any named game work fine, you know. I always meme on Project Octopath Traveler and Project Triangle Strategy, but, like, those games seem to do okay, despite the names being a bit kind of lackluster. But yeah, like, the other angle I feel is that, when I mentioned, like, oh, you know, like, people would go back and say how amazing Marathon is because of sort of Halo's pedigree. What is Halo's pedigree now? Because Halo has sort of been... I think people liked Halo Infinite, but I don't think anyone would have said it was better than Halo 4. And Halo 4 wasn't by Bungie, first of all, but... and also, I say this only having played Halo 1, but through the Master Chief Collection, which is a good re-release, and I will say that is a good one. Not have heard Marathon, have not from Mandalore. Halo 5 was better than Infinite. I won't disagree. I see some people will think, you know, like, back and forth on that one, where it's like, you know, which is better. I like how there's more platforms around the outside than this inner ring, so I was like, oh, which one am I missing? Seriously, this is just like... This is a bit of a chore. Let them play through all of it. How long is Halo 5? It's not that long a game, though, is it? How's the split-screen co-op? I remember that was the biggest meme of Halo 5, is the fact that, like, it's a Halo game without split-screen in any way. He was convinced he was going to hate it. I don't think it was, like, that bad. I think it's more just, like, people were very disappointed in what it was. Because it's, first of all, new console. And about midway. Very nice. Very nice. I think we're good. I think I'll find my way up here. This music is neat. Just seems a bit interesting to be in a Spyro minigame, you know? It's like... But yeah, like, I mean, first of all, as well, yeah, like, if you don't like a game, how would I put it? It's not bad to not like a game if you haven't played. Oh my gosh. You know, sometimes I do want to kind of cheese this then. That's just painful. This is a bit painful. Secretly, it's not a short stream. But yeah, for Marathon 2025, because it is this year, it's coming out. Yeah, exactly. Throwing for content, exactly. I mean, I love this music so much, I just want to listen to it forever. And the sluggish frame rate while looking towards literally nothing over there. I have to look up your old Tomb Raider streams. Wasn't there a final boss with platforms floating along a central place and you had to climb around slowly electrifying or activating electric stuff to win? That would have been the final boss of Tomb Raider, the Lost Artifact, which was the very last Tomb Raider related thing I've played on stream. Can't get him that time, I'll tell you that. September 23rd. Oh, that's the release date, yes. I was like, you remember the date I played Tomb Raider Lost Artifact? So I was right. That was, end of 99, or sorry, beginning of 99, because the game came out, like the regular game was late 98, so, which it is included as part of your Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 remaster, now available on Steam. That would have been a fun finish. Finish your thought. So yeah, so Bungie's pedigree is a bit mixed right now. I don't necessarily like Halo as a brand is sort of been diluted out. There hasn't been an amazing Halo game for like a decade, and the Master Chief Collection is certainly a good re-release, and it's great that it's on. Oh, exactly. I remember Destiny 1 being underwhelming, but people sort of bought into it, and then Destiny 2 was, well, it fixed everything, but I had to buy it again, and then it went free to play, and then a lot of people were sort of peeved off, I remember. I think Destiny 2 was in and out of how good it was. I think that some people may claim that like some of the older content was maybe a bit more, I guess, engaging, but at the end of the day, it does have the player counts. You know, like whatever I feel externally people think about Destiny 2, people are indeed playing it. So I can't knock that as much, because who knows, FOMO, you know. I'm saying that Halo 5, but like the reason why I mention Destiny is because that's what Bungie has been doing for this interim. They basically, and I remember when Destiny 1 was the live service game to end all live service games. This was, you know, the cream of the crop. This was Bungie. They made Halo. And you know, they were making this MMO, sort of. Like, I guess it is an MMO? It's a bit interesting to classify them back then. Also, hi, what is this platform? What is happening here? Oh, I want to get it. There we go. I think a lot of people, as in for Destiny fell off, or Bungie the company. Because the other angle that would go for is that Bungie the company experienced like 40% of its employees like being culled like a year and a bit ago. So first of all, it's any game company is most likely not the same game company 10 years later. The comment after that, which one? Halo 5 has a monitor robot that is legitimately just ages from Persona 3. There you go, I read it. I haven't played Persona 3, I'm sorry. Okay, I somehow have to get all the way over there. Okay, let's just rotate around the outside. This is a level. This is just like, yeah, okay. She's called, like, Exuberant Witness. There we go. Are we good? Did I do all of them? I think I did, because that platform is lowering. Oh, this goes back and forth. That's what I'm... Okay. Cheap viewers! Nah, it's all good. But yeah, most game companies are not the same game companies from 10 years ago. And that's not like a modern industry thing. That's like a any company ever kind of thing. Don't expect game companies to be that tremendously stable. Desire game companies to be stable, 100%. I really hate that there's so many workplaces where it's just like, yep, how do I just flame him? Oh, I can flame this guy, apparently. Okay. To be fair about music, the music, done a lot of old water levels.
You made it to the wizard.
That is a philosophy thing, unless they're Falcon, true. A lot of Japanese companies do keep lightning him. A lot of game companies, sorry, a lot of Japanese studios, a lot of Japanese studios do keep it together quite well. I think it's probably a very Western thing, and it's very much like a big problem about modern kind of Western, I'll say, software in general. There's a huge amount of churn. There's a big kind of meme where it's like the best promotion is at the next company, and that's a yeah, that is kind of true. And I think a lot of people will get very jaded out of the industry. Oh, that's gonna be so annoying that the chests have respawned. And the little, like, oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be kind of painful. Okay, well, we'll just sort of keep it going and hope for the best that I haven't missed anything up here. But he's pointing, Sparks is pointing down, so I'll just go down. Have you seen anything in this game really require the ground pound? Oh, oh, I was like, hold on, where am I going? Alright, he's pointing directly in this direction. Oh, there you go. I'll just miss these gems. Maybe. Or I missed that gem in particular. Okay. But yeah, no, I don't have too much on Marathon, but certainly the gameplay doesn't seem particularly jumping out at me, and a lot of people are definitely dismissive. I think the biggest thing is, first of all, message to Sony, and to really any game company. Don't exploit old IPs. I know you're trying to hype this up using some of the credence of Bungie and Marathon. That's why, you know, you're like, hey, we're getting Bungie to come back and make another shooter. We bought Bungie. We bought the whole studio again. But, like, you know, from the creators of Halo and Marathon and Destiny as well. They've used Destiny, and it's just like, again, how many people are the same people? I'm not too sure. It was a very hilarious bounce, wasn't that? That was kind of incredible. Oh! I don't know why I thought I was looking. I thought I was looking out where the you remember the last time I died in the overworld, and I freaking was facing the pool with the spinning things, and I thought I was like, oh, I thought I was facing that, so I turned around and I was like, oh snap.
The wizard rip pocket.
Actual padding. Actual padding. Right here. To be fair, I did say I remember this level taking longer. Dude, imagine levels that take more than an hour feel like a chore. You know what I mean? Games where you have to walk through a door portal, and in the new area the door is in the same direction. Oh, exactly, exactly. I think I've played like a point-and-click adventure game, and it does one of that. It's like the door is a passageway, and instead of physically interacting with the passageway to... Also, there's a chest somewhere. I've got my key. Instead of physically interacting with the passageway, it's just like... Yeah, 2D RPGs, yeah, it happens all the time. Wow, this happened again, just then. Strange. Very strange. Very peculiar. I'm currently playing through levels that take over. Yeah, oh, true. Thief has a quick save button, though. Also, the worst of it is introduced by Thief Gold. Thank you very much. Although it still kind of counts. Oh, that's the chest. Where was this ledge the whole time? Did I just skip it or something? Like you walk up the stairs and it loads and it places you on the side. Yeah, exactly. Never turn around players. That's always a cardinal sin. Cool. But yeah, no. So, Sony and other companies, stop abusing IPs in the sense of like saying that your game studio is like, oh, from the creators of this. I don't see it too often, but you sometimes see it, and it's like these are not the same people. Like, and I really do hate that, like, there's developers and other people who work in these studios, not all of them, and probably even not a lot of them, but some of them will pride themselves over the fact that they're working at the same company that brought these things decades ago, and it's like, bro, you didn't work on this. Like, you know, don't freaking clout that, like, you're at the studio that did this kind of stuff, and then it's like, yeah, Plants vs. Zombies, yeah, exactly. And that's not to say that, like, you know, you can't do good things, but just, like, you weren't on these things. You weren't on the original project. Okay, I'm pointing up there, so that's a good sign. Good thing I got the gem radar before I started really going at this game. But yeah, classic EA, classic EA. I don't have anything to rip on them just yet today. Although I did mention EA Sports Football Club, so I do have that. When you think it's gems and it's just enemies. Okay, further up in that direction. Got it. And we still have to do the other portal as well. I haven't done the other minigame. The OG mind behind Plants vs. Zombies walks out on them, gets fired, not sure, because he disagrees with their ideas for monetization. I mean, that's the other thing as well, is that, like, there's a lot of people, and I had a nice conversation on, with another few mates about this, where we were, like, it was kind of like, it's very easy to get kind of blackpilled on, really, the game industry, and it's like, dude, it needs to crash at some point. And to some degree, I think it does. Like, I really hate microtransaction spam, you know, kind of video games. I hate the, like, gross over-monetization of, the market, in the sense that, like, games are expensive. You have to pay more for them. Did that guy ever respawn on me? Like, it didn't! Dude, I think that gem sort of never appeared. That's not a platform. Oh, yeah, it is, actually. What is this ledge? What is this ledge?
Hey, it's Atsumi.
Yeah, am I right? Exactly. But that, I mean, that is a lot of, like, big companies in general. Like, there's a lot of companies that, like, will change focus. I mean, cough, cough. Maybe certain real-life scenarios that I'm going through. And it's just, like... You know, like I don't want to, like, trash talk my current employee, even though that you know, we'll see what I want to do in a very short amount of time. I'm having a very, very long leave, so that's nice at the very least. But yeah, it's just like big companies will unfortunately sort of remove the power from the engineers and the people who sort of have that love of the craft, and like. It doesn't necessarily mean your company has to scale. Like, Valve is a perfect example where they decided to just... Well, I mean, they struck gold. They struck everlasting gold by making Steam. And continue to strike everlasting gold by realizing that they can make $400 million annually purely through Counter-Strike cases. It's gross over monetization, but at the very least, that one works for them. I don't know, like, I don't mind companies where it's like, hey, you know, like, there's people who do that, but then we make things for people, you know, who would really enjoy them. They don't make games very often, but companies that stay decently small, however, can almost, yeah, exactly. There's something weird about, like, big companies. There's something real weird about, I don't know why I'm clicking both sticks as if there's still gems to be found. But yeah, there's definitely that. There's also the worry about you know, like the AI takeovers and stuff like that. There's I don't know, there we go, buzzword again. We mentioned it again. But like, there are a disgusting amount of like buzzword heavy vibe coding. Yeah, exactly. There's a disgusting amount of buzzword heavy kinds of products and like things where it's like, hey, you know, we're doing all this stuff to like, you know, solve these problems. I think I saw an ad for the iPhone 16. Are we up to 16 now? It was a new iPhone. And it was basically like, here's a caveman, and he invents fire. Here's Nikola Tesla inventing the light bulb. Or Thomas Edison. I don't know. They might have done Edison on that one. And then here's a person pulls out their smartphone, and it's like, imagine the possibilities. And I'm like, you don't know what you can do with this. No one knows what they can do with this. That's a worthless statement. Oh, but we're enabling people. We're unlocking the power. Everyone's been doing that all the time. There's no... like... Yeah, at least we got a speedway here. There's no, like... The ad had nothing. Imagine what you could potentially do with this abstract piece of technology. It's so lame. It's so freaking lame. Because all AI is, all this machine learning stuff, it's just a really good algorithm. Oh, sorry, not a really good algorithm. It's an algorithm which could be really good. at these not pokies. But like, it's just an algorithm. If you can do it by hand, you can do it by AI. The reason why this stuff is groundbreaking is because it takes so many parameters and performs like, and we can regress towards decently accurate models of linear equations, which, depending on the scenario, is incredibly useful. It's great for identifying materials and trying to find relationships between them in ways that we never could before. Language models are decently, like, smart. They're not perfect, and there's sort of a gut, you know, throw everything at the wall about them, but, like, they're neat. Ultimately, though, you know, hammer looking for a nail. What are you selling me? You're trying to get me to invent my own problems which need AI. You're trying to get me to do all this stuff. And so to that, when I see a video, there was a video by a guy, he's popular on... Also, what am I killing? Oh, birds. Gosh, they're all the way over there. Oh, did I say birds or not birds? Oh, nah. It's so over. Especially, okay. Pattern recognition of patterns in cell data of the human body. Yeah, exactly. Protein folding is also a really good, example, because it's like freaking, you know, like, you could just randomly do every possibility, which is, I believe, one of, I think Chia is a blockchain, and it's like proof of work is literally the amount of disk space you have corresponds to the amount of, I might as well get these guys now. The amount of disk space you have, you're literally like storing every possible result of this algorithm that needs to be computed. So the lookup time is pretty straightforward, but like to compute the values is kind of intense. And then yeah, you get rewarded depending on if someone needs your cell. I am wasting so much time with this. But like, yeah, there's lots of like, hey, we have a problem, and we can incentivize or monetize the, you know, the solution to that problem. I'm just gonna like give up and retry this one. I swear, I could have hit the water instead of having to witness the Sparks dialogue again. Oh no, no Sparks dialogue. I remember the Speedway absolutely bugging out on me when I first played it. Not right now, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, maybe. Oh. Ah. So close. So close. But yeah, no, so there's a video coming out by a guy who is, I think he's done TikTok work. I think he's worked at a big company as well. Not sure if he name dropped if it was Amazon. And then yeah, he did like script writing for a YouTuber. And he's like, I think he said they were at like 600k. I want to see if I can refine the video, but I'll probably might refine it. We'll see. But yeah, he was basically like, he was sort of like real upset, and one of the big, well, not like crazy upset in the video, but just like, you know, like, he's like, AI is effectively removing the spirit of it. And part of his case, I'm not like 100% like sold on in the sense of like, you know, just because someone worked on something doesn't exactly add value to it. Like, you can spend so long painstakingly, you know, like typing shake script on typewriters until eventually, or typing words on typewriters until one time it's Shakespeare. Doesn't exactly provide more value than just doing it the first go. But I do think that the process is somewhat important, because the process enables more creativity and more kind of art that can spin off from that. And certainly the big thing that he hits in the video is that the quality is worse. Not all the time, but generally,
Hey, it's
almost all, you know, use cases of the AI and spamming it do make things worse. And yeah, it eliminates entry-level stuff. It's like, you're gonna have a generation of people who just, like, do not know how to think. I think I saw someone say, oh, isn't this like a calculator? And it's like, calculators and compilers still require the fundamental understanding. They just let you do that thing very quick. But, like, depending on what you're using, and I'm not going to generalize every single AI machine learning based tool to this, because obviously, you know, there are great applications using it. But like the mass marketed freaking, like, that kind of stuff, it's just like, yeah, like I don't want people to not know how to write sentences. You know, it's kind of tragic. Is an abacus a compiler? An abacus is a computer, I'll tell you that. It's not a compiler though, because it doesn't convert instructions. At least I think. I'm not too sure. There's probably a technical definition of what makes a compiler. But yeah, so I'll definitely, I'll try and find that video. I'll put it on the Fetty. But yeah, you'll probably I'll just find it in the loading screen. I'll just find it there. But yeah, oh, it's a wild video, or a wild time. I was like, hold on, there's a shortcut in here. There we go. But yeah, and I've sort of felt this. I've sort of felt that, like, where's the love? Where's the love in any of this? And you know, like, sort of, I think the term that's used a lot is slop. And I'm starting to adopt that term a bit more in the sense of it's content made or a product made purely to be consumed. Like, it actually doesn't, like, what is it? The love of the craft doesn't exist. The people who work hard on it are sort of downtrodden or downplayed. Also, wow, I didn't go through that tunnel the first time, and now it's like, I lost. That's kind of annoying, isn't it? But like the people who, you know, like truly do care about something, there is a lot of, oh, like, you know, what's the term? Like, features by committee? That's not the term, but like, effectively it's like, you know, directors stop existing, that kind of stuff. Whoops, sorry, I went through that slightly. Drowning high and even mid-quality stuff in an ocean of low quality. Exactly. I was then witness to sort of and here's one. There are a ridiculous amount of political ads right now in Australia because we have our federal election coming out. And they unironically are just pulling the brain rot card. Like, just have memes just be like brain rot memes. Just like cover freaking Steve's Lava Chicken song and just complain about Peter Dutton or you know, Elbow or something like that, and user engagement. Exactly, like it's all about the metrics and stuff, and it's like freaking, like, at some point, like, you know, like, how do you know that, like, the world is a better place? And I that sounds so, like, you know, like, remarkably profound. It's like, oh, like, who's the arbiter of making the world a better place? But it's like, you know, deep in your heart, like, what provides value and meaning in people's lives. I feel like I play and I voice my opinion on you know, Twitch and YouTube for that reason. I feel like, hey, I have, you know, thoughts and opinions. I hope that, you know, people can articulate how they're feeling in reaction to what I'm saying. So not like, I don't want to be didactic. I don't want to be like, oh, you know, you have to agree with me. But rather that, like, if you hear someone saying things in the right way, suddenly then that, you know, makes things click. And you suddenly go, holy crap, like, I get it. Or suddenly you don't get it. Maybe there was a point in development. I'm going cross-eyed, just trying to pay attention to the flying ass. Oh, he's right there. He's going a long way. There you go. Maybe though the point of development, it wouldn't cost more, much more to launch. No, you jerk. Yeah, there we go. What's image, right? Oh, exactly. And I mean, you know, like, we should always expect companies to, you know, reduce costs and increase revenue. That is the goal of a company. And, you know, like, it would be foolish for us to pretend otherwise. But, like, we as consumers don't need to be buying everything, or to be, like, mentally conditioning ourselves to be so, like, appealing to brain rot that, oops, I hit the button. But, like, yeah, the politics ads that are the brain rot, I'm like, I look at that and I go, there is no... You read the comments replying to, oh, sorry, it doesn't... Oh, you can tell Sony cares about their fans because they have a third live service game cooking after Marathon. Which one's the second one? Because also Helldivers, which actually is a success for them, so... Everything else gets to be just, oh, it's the next Helldivers, and it's like, you missed out on Concord and the 7 other titles you cancelled, Sony. What's happening there? Concord, Marathon, Fair Game. Oh, I keep forgetting about Fair Games. I don't know you mentioned that one. Does anyone remember Hyenas? Alright, the video's titled AI Ruined My Life. Oh, he's going to start talking immediately. By Andrew Cole. Go watch that video. Not right now, but just queue it up at some point. It's a 22-minute video. He literally opens by saying that he's filming in his car because you know that when a video is a guy talking in his car, it's real, which is such like a sad state of things. It's like, he is kind of right. It's like, yeah, like... I'm missing the very first one. What's the very first one? Oh, it's getting the reward for the Wizard Rip Talks. Where is this? I think it's the guy, the end. Yes. Announced Fair Games in like 2023. Yeah, I saw that one show up on the recommended and I was like, this is a guy talking in the car. Is he voicing the things that I feel? And somewhat. I don't fully agree with him, but I also very empathize with what he's saying as well. And certainly, yeah, no, yeah, it's like, you know, where is the love? Where is the love of the craft? You know, there is, and I think like, what's the one song? I know I've been naming all the stream titles for this based off of songs off of Rush, Roll the Bones, but there's a one off the album afterwards, Counterparts, called Nobody's Hero, which is a very, very profound song. I very enjoy that song. But like part of the song's lyrics, effectively, you know, like the whole theme of the song is that there are so many things in life where someone does something heroic and meaningful to others, but it's not like, I think they say like, you know, solves great mysteries, cures a wasting disease, you know, like a lead actress or, you know, that kind of stuff. And it's like, there are some things that like don't mean, you know, like that much to the individual. They're just like, you know, great groundbreaking things to the community. But then there's also, you know...
Thanks for your help, Spyro. Say, did you drop this?
That's so weird that you gotta like backtrack to this.
Hey, it's Mickey.
There he is. But part of that song, I think one of the lines is like, something. What's the one? Hold on, I'm gonna look up the lyrics. If everybody's buying, nobody's hero. Oh my gosh, I want Rush. Everybody, nobody's hero. Did I say everybody's before? Rush.com. Thank you, official lyrics. There we go. Yeah. Hero, the voice of reason against the howling mob. And statement. Hero, the pride of purpose in the unrewarding job. And I'm like, freaking Neil Peart, I tell you, there is like something so touching about so many of his lyrics. And that one gets to me a lot because it's like, jobs can be soul-crushing. Nobody's hero in absolute... Not that one, though. Hero, not the champion player who plays the perfect game. Not the glamour boy who loves to sell his name. There's a lot of good stuff, but like, the whole point is that, like, the love of the craft, the pride of purpose. I think that's the key point that we need to be hitting, not as like a society, like that kind of angle. What an interesting way to enter the level. It's a temple right there, but then you're like, you just do portal. Look at this. Look at this thing. Look at this. What's happening here? Okay, I thought they would release something now and not care about the brand image. If they did another Concord, on the odd chance it could be Helldivers instead. Looks like Hyenas, which is unreleased live. Yeah, Hyenas. And it's weird that there's so many live service games as well. Like, I can't keep up with, like, all the other ones. But certainly, the fact that so many come out of one company as well is kind of shocking. It's like, they should be trying until they hit success. And then not cannibalizing their own users.
Spyro, the R1000 and the TRX1000s have escaped from their inescapable cages and are running amok through the jungle. Please stop them before they destroy the rest of the science labs and all of our research.
It's not a real scientist, he's using a calculator.
No problem. But say, what's a R1000 something something?
Oh, well, to put it in simplified terms that even a dragon can understand,
wow.
they're mechanically enhanced nanotech propulsion-oriented whiptops, which we've been working on here in our labs. Quite the state-of-the-art, I might add.
Oh, really? And how exactly would I go about destroying these things?
How exactly would I go about reading my lines?
When they were exposed to sub-zero temperatures. Perhaps that information will come in useful light.
No problem. I have just the right breath to chill them out.
Now, fortunately, this level is behind the gate that requires the freeze breath, so you're actually not caught out here.
Yet we've not been able to get close enough to them to zap them with an electrical charge.
He is too chilled. But yeah, they're basically like, oh, look at that. You finally need to use a breath ability. And remember, this is the final level. It's like, there's really no, like, hype. There's no, there's not really been any bosses. These are just regular enemies, so you can just kill them like normal. But yeah, here's your enemies. They have a, there's one change you'll notice in the definitive edition as well. They have a laser attack, and if I were to get hit by that laser attack, I'd just get hit immediately. And they're meant to sweep. They're not meant to aim directly at Spyro every time. Oh, this was also one as well. So this platform falls down and then you die. Just wanted to show that off. But then the platform doesn't come back. I think the hitbox comes back. Yeah, the platform hasn't come back. Like visually, but the hitbox is definitely there. I just thought that's fun. In terms of presentations, it's going to be a Mario Kart. Yes, we're going to have the Mario Kart one on Thursday. So yeah, this guy, he just aims directly at you. They didn't even playtest this level, I tell you. And they have Gex lizards everywhere. We do have that coming up, so that's nice. And to be fair as well, like. Also, Thursday, as in this Thursday, as in like the day before Easter Thursday. You're right, yeah. Totally, yeah. Much more interesting. I'll be interested. Yeah, definitely. I do always worry about, like, I guess Nintendo bias. But it's like, it's less Nintendo bias, and I don't know, for me it's maybe a bit more just like something that's different. Every time I keep going, like, oh, Marathon just looks like Apex Legends mixed with, I was gonna say Hyenas, but it's like, I don't know, I feel like I've seen bits of it from everywhere, and, like, I can't understand the market. I can't understand the, you know, Sony knows more than me. So I'm not the kind of person who just says like, oh, how could you, Sony? You're wasting, you know, effort. All you got to do is just like literally make another Ratchet and Clank, which they did actually. I got one, so it's more than Microsoft. People do not hold back. Oh yeah, definitely. Like I do feel like Nintendo shouldn't be exempt from criticism and all that stuff. And yeah, it's not blindly loving, but yeah. What's the? Oh, I forgot to mention as well. Hold on, let me very double check. I had 2 games which I mentioned to my mate. I forgot to mention these. What was this? I was like Omega 6, the Triangle Stars. There you go. There you go. There's a team of people. They made a game similar to the Famicom detective games. Similar. Well, I don't think they're the same talent. But this Omega 6, which you have to look it up with the subtitle because otherwise you get the actual like vitamin. But it's got the character designer, like the director who worked on the original F-Zero and Star Fox games. You had that game on your wish list already, Fetty, so I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, like that is what I mean by like, you know, the industry can crash, but the talent, also Professor Copeland, very nice. But the talent and the drive and the sort of like, you know, desire to keep making cool games and cool ideas. Okay, that was a bit weird. The desire to keep making cool games is still there, and if you follow the talent rather than the names and the companies, I think you'll probably have much better luck really understanding what games work well and what games, you know, are just like whatever. We meme on Daikatana, but I will tell you, Daikatana forever will have like its notoriety because John Romero somewhat cared. And he still cares. I mean, he was... I remember he was talking about, the, like, you know, the 1.4 update for, like, or was it 1.4? There was a fan patch, basically. Artists will persist. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the most important thing, is whatever, you know, whatever happens in business and whatever, people are people. And some people will obviously... Daikatana GBC is legit good though. I gotta play it then. I don't hate the original Daikatana. It's the only Daikatana. I don't hate Daikatana. At least the PC version. It's got clunk, but it's like how do I put it? If you can get past the whole first chapter, the rest of the game is better than that first chapter, by far. The final chapter is a bit shocking, but at the very least, like, I think it's better than the first chapter. It's an action RPG. That's kind of how you should, like, convert a lot of games onto handhelds. It's kind of weird, but it works.
Hey, it's Goomba.
That's not a real name. That can't be a real name, right? Also, look, it's the key. It's not that far in this level. First chapter level being bad or too high. Yeah, exactly. Superman 64 is another one that's actually got that problem. That being said, Superman 64 is a shockingly dreadful game, and the very last level is by far one of the worst things I have ever seen in my entire life. I wonder if I could just go back out and get the chests, like right now, probably. Yeah, I gotta play that PS1 prototype, I'll tell you, but yeah, it's like, people get so thrown off by the rings in Superman 64, and then you get to the second level, and every level it's always an alternate, you know, between the, what's it called, the ride level, which is the rings, and then you know, I guess indoor levels. And level 2, the first indoor level, is probably the most broken of all the indoor levels. It gets better. There'll still be problems, but there's like this one level later on, and it's like,
It's Jean Marc.
Actually, yeah, oh yeah, Driver as well, because the tutorial is unusually hard. You are right. Driver, I do think, gets unusually hard, especially later in the game when you realize your health is so weak You are so weak to some things. Like, I know the very final level where you got to do the mad dash across, like, the San Francisco kind of highway, and it's like, yep, if I... Well, it's not the highway, it's like through the city, but, like, if you take the main route, you're just gonna have these, like, cars ram you at 700 k's an hour. Yeah, I wonder if they fixed that. I did enjoy Driver 2 a lot more. I should really go back and replay that one. But yeah, follow the people. That's my heart of... You like how the hover doesn't work like it used to? It used to, like, detect the height of your jump, and now it's just like, it just always maxes out, so you can sort of gain a little bit of extra height. I hope this level is very, you know, emblematic of, you know, hey, the rooms are big, you had ideas, and then you chucked all the gems in kind of obnoxious places all the time. I don't hate this level though, I think it's okay. It does have an annoying lava section, I remember though. So you're telling me that I should play Fortnite because that's where the... no, it's where the talent is. Fortnite, I mean, Fortnite has... You know, there are talented people who work on Fortnite, but I don't know of how many of, like, our, you know, our absolutely amazing, talented people still work at Epic Games. Cliffy B does, at least. So, this is that. Harmonix trapped in the cell. And here's the thing as well, how many people are at Harmonix are the people who created charts for, you know, the original Rock Band, let's just say, or the original Guitar Hero. I do wonder, yeah, children can't be talented. No, get out of my chat, children. No children allowed. I mean, how do I put it? It is going to get very tough for newcomers, though. For people who don't have industry experience, and then it's just like, yeah, you know, like, how do you like, actually show that you have video game developing experience other than, wasting away at indie games? Not to say that indie games don't make money, but most indie games don't really, you know, they don't break even, I don't think. Tell me when I'm allowed to show my project to class. You're not a child, Fetty. I might as well go through this portal. Oh, exactly. Yeah, Flash games were a really great era, and again, love of the craft. Flash games came out at an era where monetization was so, like, new or non-existent, and you would just, like, make things, you know, because you love them. And I think a lot of people... What's our minigame?
My calculations indicate that this volcano is about to explode. Slide down to the bottom before it's too late, and don't worry about me. Save yourself.
Hey, Rubicate, you know, slow and steady. I'd prefer it to be, you know, exactly what you want than rushed. It's a synth sound. What's happening here? Is that how lava works? Is this how volcanoes work? I think I've tried as well. You can't, like, fang it off the side, despite the fact that it obviously is a spiral. You know, there's a level in the SpongeBob SquarePants movie game that's exactly like this. I do live classic Vesuvius moment, classic Etna moment. Are they both in Italy? I think they are. I guess the closest to Flash games evolved. Well, there still are indie games as well. The other one I mentioned 2 indie games on my list. The other one was a game called UFO 50, which Fetty you also have on your wish list. So that one's not a mystery to you. But that's by the same person who did Aquaria and Spelunky. Yeah, Mossmouth. Yeah. Vesuvius is near Naples. Etna and Stromboli. I was going to say Stromboli. Stromboli, that's it, actually. I missed the I. I like how it's just a simple slide level. I mean, it's got jumps and stuff like that. Weirdly, I'd probably say this is one of the more... Oh, apart from the jumps! Never mind. Derek Yu, half of Aquaria. Ah, okay. Just a song. Stromboli! Stromboli! It should be Stromboli. There you go. Unless you get lucky. Well, exactly. But I think, and here's the thing, like, and I say this knowing full well that, like, I don't play enough indie games, although I am enjoying Proteus. I'm giving that one a go, and I'm like, I'm enjoying it. I think it probably doesn't have, like, as much content as maybe I'd like, and some people have a big problem with the fact that, like, you have to basically play through most of the levels. That is not how rocks roll, by the way. You have to play through most of the... Oops. You have to play through most of the levels. Yeah, not to be confused with Proteus. It's a D. Game jams might also be a chance. Yeah, exactly. A part of me really wants to, like... Yeah, don't get mixed up with the Wilkinson. It is funny, though. I think I have played Proteus, and I definitely was like... You know, I do like my games with a purpose. Move with a purpose. But yeah, like, people's biggest gripes with Proteus is that lots of the weapon upgrades and some of the movement abilities require, I guess, like, well, you know, there's an unlockable currency, and they're mostly found through secrets in all the levels. And they're just like, yeah, you basically got to play most of the game in order to get any of the upgrades. But I'm like, I don't mind that, because the core of the game needs to be fun. I don't need upgrades to somehow, like, make the game more fun. I hate it when upgrades are too free. Like, when it's just like, oh, okay, here's an upgrade. I will read your messages in a hot second, because I'm in a hot moment. Ooh, let's see what I did there. We're talking about companies abusing their customer base, unfair and preying practices. Blob mentioned this channel, Balula News. To be fair, like, one, it's not all companies, and also abusing customers is a bit of a harsh kind of way of phrasing. I wouldn't necessarily call it abusing, but I'd certainly say, like, it's not me. There's a reason why I didn't buy any of these games that are getting mentioned. This looks so clunky. Like, I like it, but it's like, oh boy, it is kind of clunky looking. I remember that a few days ago I watched a very interesting topic, a very interesting video by that channel that fits in this topic. Praying. Not Prey 2017, but the title of the video is The Law Finally Caught Up Every AAA is in Studio. I always love the clickbait titles. Loot boxes are technically abuse in all countries with proper gambling laws. I do, yeah, I'm really on the fence about loot boxes, because it's just like, on the one hand, I actually really like, you know, some games designed with randomized mechanics like that, but then it's like, paying real money. Also, classic Balatro being, like, banned classification in Australia because it's technically gambling, and it's like, literally, it's not, I mean, it is, you know, somewhat gambling, but it's just like, you buy the game, it's the game. The game involves poker. The problem with clickbait titles and thumbnails. Oh, exactly. I feel like I've gotten, like, some random clicks, or at least search result pop-ups, because I put song titles as my stream names. I've sort of kept it up, and someone's probably going to go, like, why? And I'm like, oh, I'll sort of keep it up. For example, they ban by not letting you buy the exact amount of virtual currency. Oh, that's... I mean, to be fair, I hate, like, not being able to buy the exact amount. Not because, like, you know, there's so many things where it's like you have to buy 1,100 tokens to buy your 1,000 token thingy. So you're always overspending. And they let you get a refund for buying the currency. Oh, so here's the thing. I have a great topic. So there's a fun, recent development. I didn't realize there's two people in the District Court of California. I don't know. Maybe this is the Karen moment. Trying to sue Ubisoft over the crew because they shut down the servers. And they're claiming a couple of things. I think they have 8 claims. But one is particularly that, like, hey, you know, like, it's false advertising. One is, it's, you know, I guess, against warranty, and what's the other one as well? Statute of limitations. I was reading Ubisoft's response, so I was looking more into that. The next time you want something, you still have those 100... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Ubisoft trying to be like, oh, you know, like, you were always buying a license to the games. You never owned it. And there's a little bit of retroactive interpretation on what is buying a license to a game, because it's like buying a CD, you know, in the late 90s or early 2000s, and it using, like, Securom is technically... is technically buying a license. But it's like, hey, the content of the disc is still there. And the ability to continue playing that game, ideally, should continue working. I know sometimes it doesn't, and that's kind of annoying, but I'm assuming bundles are probably still allowed. I'm on the fence about bundles. I feel like bundles shouldn't be, like, exempt, because you get kind of meme stuff like GTA 5. They would ship it with the Shark card, like, bundle. It's like, oh, you get all this, like, free currency for the online, and because it counts as that, no refunds. Technically, it abuses the Steam system of refunds because you can't buy GTA 5 on its own, which is odd because it's like, it's GTA 5. Like, how many people are refunding that? Yeah, Sekirom's annoying, and it's especially annoying when the when the authentication service went down as well. But you can work around it at least. Now, reading into Ubisoft's response, so they said a couple of things. First of all, that the always online and the, you know, like, requires an internet connection, you know, has been proudly advertised on the box. I bought the game, I'm going to use my personal analogy on this one. I bought the game on Steam. These people, I think, bought it on the PS4, so they're going to specifically call the PS4 version. The video said specifically ban bundles, like, yeah, exactly. Stopping company, oh, exactly. Yeah, I hate those bundles. I hate it. Because it's like, I never asked for this. You know, like, I want to buy product. Just let me play products, you know, like that. But yeah, I bought the Steam version. The Steam version doesn't make it clear that it's an always online game. It does make it clear that there is an end user license agreement. I decided to read it. The end user license agreement does specifically keep saying that there is a separation between the capital P product and the capital L license. What you buy is the license, and what you download is the product. And Ubisoft, in that agreement, say, at any point in time, either party can terminate this agreement, which, as someone who paid money into it, why on earth would I ever agree to that?
Hello?
They're not legally binding as well, so yeah, definitely, if you spot something that's not, I guess, applicable to the law, you know, hey, you can ignore that.
Great! Thanks, Spyro. Well, you see all those R1000s out there? They borrowed my equipment. All I need you to do is to get it back for me. Simple.
Simple.
Oh, that's all you want me to do.
Let's compare the meerkat.com.
And how exactly do you want me to do that? There's a
I thought
pit
it was
out there.
cash shop bundles like get 2k currency and this other cash shop for less than what you would.
Yes.
Oh yeah, not bundles within bundles, like not as in you buy currency and you get a bit more currency. I would assume that still counts as an atomic purchase, but it's just kind of annoying that you're overshooting. But yeah, no, ones where it's like you buy the game and here's some currency, and the currency technically invalidates it as a single purchase.
Able to walk onto the lava without being hurt. However, Spyro, the invulnerability that you have to the lava won't last long, but you can come back and recharge if necessary.
Cool. Now it's time to go kick some Riptalk butt.
Good luck to you.
So yeah, we put invulnerability power up in the game, and we didn't provide any effect on Spyro. I wasn't listening. I had to freeze him. It feels so glitchy. It feels so hacky. Here's the video, and do I have to pick up anything behind them? Oh, I do. I have to stop and pick it up. Oh my gosh. There was a specific game that started this change in the EU. Was it Overwatch? Was it Star Wars Battlefront? Not a game. It's super obscure. Ooh, which super obscure game is doing this? Ooh. It's so annoying. You gotta like backtrack for the thing that is just It fell with him. Okay. But yeah, oh, I lost my train of thought, what I was mentioning before. So, Ubisoft, yes. So I read through the EULA. Product P, product, capital P product, and lower or capital L license. You are definitely buying the license. They make it very clear right at the top of the EULA. So I'd probably say, and it's a middle-length EULA. So I'll complain that it's very easy to buy the game and not read the EULA, because buying it on Steam or buying it physically, if you buy the game physically, how does that ensure that you read the EULA? First of all, I would like to add that. I really feel like, I know it's a meme of oh, no one reads the EULA, but actually, who reads it? Really, there are so many games as well where it's after the fact that you bought the game, you boot it up and they're oh, we have to really make sure that users read that EULA, so we prompt them at the beginning. Something against games nested virtual currencies. Yeah, because you can sometimes get the ones where it's you buy, I think China has this problem. You can buy a currency that then redeems for a different currency, and technically that gets around it, and it's what? Look at that, it's a mini game inside a mini game. How cool is that? Well, it's not inside a mini game, but it's just down here. Youch. I like how the frame rate's been somewhat okay on this level as well. It's quite odd. Well, we might as well do our mini game, I guess. But yeah, so they make it clear. What they say is that they can terminate the license at any point in time, for any reason. The stream got heated. Yeah. But yeah, they can terminate the license for any reason. Which seems like a bit of a robbery. Right? Can't be any reason.
To the top of the tower.
I actually don't mind this minigame. This one's okay.
Of the tower's secret treasure. Why a tower exists in the middle of the jungle is a secret hidden away ages ago.
Okay, sure. Look, it's got a camera and everything. I kind of like this concept. No game for you. Yeah, exactly. So one thing that they say in the EULA is that you may not server emulate. They specifically say that in the EULA. But here's the thing. Obviously, if they have terminated the license of the game, which if you own the game on Uplay, you can't download it anymore. Oh, the frame rate has struggled again. They've obviously terminated the EULA. That means, in theory, all the things that they tell you they would revoke your EULA for is now, forfeit, basically. It's also, I like how that reduces my time. Because I can't see up. Now I can see up. There's such a delay on this as well. Hold on. Left, right, oh. I don't think I can go up that way at all. So we're gonna have to go the long way. Watch out, he's got double. Yep, sure, yep. No, we're good. We're good. Okay, spiders. So I thought that's kind of curious. There's some fun spiders, I'll tell you that. They worked real hard on their spiders. But yeah, I don't know. This reminds me of a Magma Top, which has the nice fun climbing section at the end. Well, I would love to... Yeah, I would love to jump over these, but apparently it doesn't really work. And neither does his voice acting. So, about the video, I mean, I'll open it up just so I've got it on the side for that. Every AAA, oh my gosh, there he is. April 10th. I'll watch that video. It's 17 minutes. I sort of looked away. I managed to do that without even looking. Wow. Wow, that was kind of incredible. Listen, man, we can't have another Spyro Enter the Dragonfly stream without phasing through stuff. Skills to pay the bills. Exactly. Exactly. I can break this game without even looking. So what do you do about this guy? He's sort of like in the way. He's just in the way. Also, hi. Wow. Okay. Okay. Decided to not grab the wall. Oh, what a game. What a game. Oh, he's done it again. He has done it again. The mad lad himself. He cannot grab walls. But yeah, the Eula... Read what the guy says. Oh, I mean, really, you just gotta avoid the rocks. Watch for rolling rocks. Or falling rocks, I guess. Like, just do a clean jump here. Exactly. That's all I had to do. Oops. 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 Well, that didn't go as well as I expected. I was like, surely they would deload the unload the thing. My brain is mush, I tell ya. I just want to see if that would happen. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know about this game, I tell ya. It's certainly like, it's got its pieces. I would probably judge people who say they do like this game. It just feels like it's very much like an unfinished product. There's pieces of things in there, but it's like it doesn't really add up, and they're certainly lacking. It's just oh, exactly, yeah.
That was terrific, Spyro. I've never seen anyone...
Actually, how many people were also on this after at Insomniac? Like, I know Stuart Copeland's on this for the music, so it's like, in theory, you get more Spyro music, but it's like...
But anyway, you'll have to keep it a secret, but there's not really any treasure up here. I never actually thought that anyone could get to the top.
What? So I did all that for nothing?
Well, I guess I should give you something. It's not much, but I found this Dragonfly hiding in my secret elevator. Here, you can have it.
Okay, sure, yeah. But yeah, no, there's not really that much else in the Eula. They don't specifically describe reasons. They do say that they can't announce the termination without a 30-day notice, and they gave 3 months, I believe. They announced it at the end of December 2023 and shut down the servers at the end of March 2024. I bought the game in August or July of 2023, and I have 0 hours on Steam for the crew. Wrath of Cortex is also... Yeah, Wrath of Cortex is alright, though. It's very much like, it's not doing anything more than Crash 3. It reuses a lot of its sort of elements, but it's like, yeah, you know, it works. Also, it runs fine. The PS2 version still takes its sweet time loading, I'll tell you that, but the Xbox version is like a dream. Just, wah, in the level. Boom. I don't have to pick these up again, do I? We'll never know. I'll probably just ask the guy and I'll be like, oh, I have a Dragonfly. It's so weird. It's just like, ah, yeah, lava section. No effect on Spyro whatsoever. Terminator references everywhere. 88 gems left? Exactly. But it is a bit of a weird feeling, and it's... I mean, I think this is an okay kind of final level. It does feel like they would have final level vibes here.
Great job, Spyro! You found them all! Here, I found this Dragonfly under some broken equipment I found in my lab. You can have it!
Okay, sure.
Hey, it's Jason.
Jason. Yeah, lava is definitely a very good final level. Final level. Exactly. What am I running into here? I really hate these bridges, I'll tell ya. Like what? Come on, guys. It's just like, just ship it. Just ship it. Whatever. And I think that's kind of like the gist with this game, is that like, whatever was shipped is very, you know, whatever. Doesn't particularly have, like, the love of it, I think, is in the concept. Like, here's a little room for some reason. In fact, it's actually the exact same room that was on in the hub world.
It's Spyro! That bad old thief over there stole something from
Look at that, he's stuck in his run animation.
He stole a biomolecular hologram projector from me. And if you would kindly retrieve it, I will reward you graciously.
Now he's gone. He is actually running, though, I'll tell you that. No, it's kind of breaking news game that... yeah, exactly. Exactly. I feel like I shouldn't be surprised, but I'd certainly, like, I think ultimately to summarize this whole game, it's like, yeah, it just plays clunky, and it's not really fun or tremendously engaging. It's just like, well, it's like a very, like, passable at times, and sometimes a bit like it needs a bit more time cooking, you know, imagination of Spyro levels. And they've certainly got concepts and ideas, but it's like, again, it's like drawing board. You need to iterate your ideas, refine it, keep it lean. I think there's a degree of too much that you can easily throw into games. On the other hand, Mario Sunshine, Mario Sunshine is weird. It's certainly, I do wonder how much of Mario Sunshine is like unfinished in the same way as this game is, because everything in Mario Sunshine somewhat works. You can probably poke holes at the physics, because it's like clearly, you know, even though some of it is overlapping with Mario 64's physics, it's like the levels weren't looking for that. Dark Souls unfinished.
Great job!
It was no sweat.
As a reward for your heroic efforts, and in the name of good science, please accept this as a reward.
What did I do to deserve this?
Hey, it's walking.
Eggman? I mean, yeah, probably a lot of this feels unfinished for that kind of reason. Also, yeah, every level is, I think I remember seeing one thing as well with it. Ooh. The engine was designed around the levels being much more open than maybe in the way that like a Ratchet and Clank hub world is open. That's it. That's every gem in the game. We're done. Or actually, no, not because I haven't gotten all the. I think that's. Oh, it'd probably be the one guy for killing the one class of enemy, right? Crash Twinsanity was robbed. One day I'll play Crash Twinsanity, I'll tell you. What's the name of the thing? What is the name of this? Oh, it was right at the beginning, okay. Lightning Challenge. No, not Lightning Challenge, it was it was in the room with the I had to climb up. Oh. Ligantine. Do we really? Yeah, we did call it Ligantine. I mean, that definitely looks like the N font and not the H font. Come on, guys. I think that's the other thing as well. So every time you think you've seen everything about this game, you sort of just spot something new and you're like, ooh, ooh. And I think that's the kind of tragic part. It's not particularly hard either. Like, none of the platforming is particularly, like, you know, meaningful or thought-provoking. It's kind of just like, yep, there's a hallway. It's got a bunch of bits there. Magnetic prison and earth. Elector magnetic. There you go. That is true. It's also got like 1 day left as being part of the humble choice, or not choice. The humble. It's just a bundle with it. Yeah, you gotta flame these. I think there's a pattern you have to follow. I think it's the value of the gems. And they mixed up some of the gems. So it's like, it's red, then green, and then blue because it's 5, and then it's purple for some reason. Listen guys, you had one job. There you go. It's an intriguing puzzle. It's like, oh, I didn't even ask for this. But sure. Like, they don't even hint at that. That's just like, that's just there. I remember that one. I remember that one. Freaking writing down. So, I knew the order because it's the order of the colored gems from least valuable to most valuable, except yellow and purple were mixed up. Because, as in, sorry, it's correct within the game's rules, but it's incorrect because they got yellow and purple mixed up from the other games. Because purple should have been the 25, and instead they made yellow the 25 and purple the 10. For being the very last Dragonfly, it's got to be something cryptic, but it's just like, yeah, what in the game tells you that? Maybe the guy there gives you a little hint, maybe, but... Oh, yeah, color coded stuff getting changed in the sequel. Like, at least they fixed it in A Hero's Tale, but then A Hero's Tale got charged and flamed the wrong way around as well, so I'll never forgive him. Anyway, that's it. That's literally it. The only thing left is to fight Ripto for real. And, well, actually, bonus points. I'm pretty sure it just says I'm at 100%. Yeah. So, okay. We fly out. Will the fight be hard? Well, you'll have to see. Next trip. No, that'd be a good bait. That'd be such a good bait. But no, we're just finishing up. I'm at least glad I managed to pad this out for 2 hours, though. Moral of the story is, Ubisoft's claim is very, very anti-consumer. Anti-consumer in the sense of... I really hate that they aren't providing any option or any ability for people to continue to download the files to the game that they definitely paid for. I hate this backtracking of, oh, you actually bought a license and we can revoke the license at any point in time. Purposefully oh, exactly. I'm not admitting to anything. I'm just saying, you know, if you think that's the case, then, you know, that's cool. I do hate that. I do think Ubisoft, in their attempt to dismiss the claims, may have a point, because they're trying to argue that under warranty claims, it's 3 years, and these people bought the game in 2020, but then I would say, well, I bought the game in 2023. So if I was in California, I would be very upset about this. Also, I didn't buy the game on the PS4, I bought it on Steam, which doesn't really advertise the always online content very well. It does have MMO as a category tag. Yeah, you just meant to know that this portal's open after you've hit 70% of the game. You just meant to know that. And it just arbitrarily picks 70%. Like, nothing in the game tells you 70%. You don't have any of, like, the numbers shining on screen telling you how much of the game you've beaten. Nothing requires you to actually get... Yeah, there's only one boss as well. There he is. We've sort of seen him already, haven't we?
Your back again? How is this possible? I will take care of you permanently. Oh, wait a minute, I said that last time. I wouldn't want to sound like a video game cliche. Let me try that again. This time, I will take care of you once and for all.
What's with the fourth wall? I tell you.
Hocus?
Hocus pocus. I love it. I love it. So yeah, I think you have to do, I'm not too sure if you have to do all the phases in one hit, so I'll try to, or sorry, without dying, so I'll try to not die and do the other phases alright, but yeah. Hit his crystals and or ice thing with flames, I guess. I'm not sure if he runs faster, maybe. He's gonna get a freebie hit just there. And then you only have to hit him once. Because once you're at 100% or 85% of the game,
Hocus pocus.
he decides to hocus pocus again and instead switch to a different phase where he becomes slightly bigger.
Hocus pocus.
And then he says that line again. And now he has fire because they can actually test that you did indeed grab the ice breath. Unfortunately, this fire doesn't hurt you. And also, it doesn't really change the rules of the engagement very much, does it? This Oh, he decided to not get hit. Do you like how, what is happening here? What happened there? Well, at least we start the phase again, so at least there's that, but like... I'm just past the shield! I'm just past the shield! Just... what? Oh my gosh. I'm right up against him. I'm right up against him. Okay, come on. I just spawned. You hit me twice just then. It's like no invuln period. Okay, we're jumping and hitting him this time. Oh my goodness. I'm at a bit of a loss of words because it's like it's very hard to really explain what's happening. It's just sort of like, it happens, I guess. Now I have to step back because he made himself not short.
Hocus pocus.
I think he can use the the wings. Now he's very tall, and by very tall I mean he is that. Oh, no way at all. Whoa. Lightning, flame. We're just gonna shield. Oh, I'm holding the buttons. He's attacking so fast, Spyro can't finish his animation. He attacks so fast. Ah. Alright, what am I doing here? Because he's gonna do this attack. Oh, okay, the shield doesn't work anymore. Oh, now you can hit him. But it's because he didn't do his electric sound. Okay, just dodge the projectiles, and then you know what other Spyros would do? Usually the camera would like look at the boss the whole time. Instead, I'm like looking at the floor. The camera barely sticks on him, I tell you. Good thing he sounds the same, I'll tell you. Did I just explode? Oh. Is that the 3-hit rule or no? You decided to not get hit then. Okay. Hey, at least I have enemies sort of on the field. And then he decided to just stop. I mean, I assume if I move, maybe he'll do something, but he just stops. Wow. Okay. Hi. Hi. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing there? He just gave up. He just gave up. He doesn't want to be beaten. Come on. Come on. We good? Are we good? Is he gonna do something? You can't beat me if I don't attack. This is Listen, okay, listen, if you're one of the people who worked on the game, guys, really, does someone know why this happens? Does someone know why his face has no hitbox? Alright. We're doing it old school. I'm actually curious if you can, like, God mode or, like, free cam out here. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, okay, I was a little worried he was gonna, like, actually, like, just stay stuck. Gosh, there's so many projectiles. Sorry, so many particles on that effect. It's such a particle spam. There does not need to be this many particles on screen. Hi, you gonna let me attack you at some point? Yes? The difference is Astrobot is on a much more powerful console. And Astrobot is a good game. There's a bunch of good games that actually do have like lots of particle effects all over the place. I remember Metal Gear Rising being a very big particle spam game. Is 3 hits enough? Nope. Is 4 hits enough? Is 5 hits enough? 5 hits enough. There we go! We did it! That's the game. I think. Sort of. Yeah. That was it. Now we get an actual ending to the game. It doesn't just cut off immediately at the credits. There's an actual ending.
No, not again. My plans were so perfect. Twice I put my faith in this staff, and twice it has failed me. Dragons.
Yeah, if you don't have the game 100% completed, it does end early.
Well, that's what you get for playing with your little sticks. Silly Ripto. Don't you know magic and dinosaurs don't mix?
You haven't heard the last of me, you little demon. I'll be back, and you'll be sorry.
What?
Every last one of you will be sorry.
Yeah, I bet.
Nice bonk sound. It was 3 in the first phase, and the only phase, if it's not 100%. No, they made more Spyro games afterwards. We had Spyro Hero's Tale developed by Eurocom in 2004, and then I don't know who made the Legend of Spyro games.
Well,
it was the last
normally
time we heard a
fairy
Ripto,
tales
though, I'll
go
tell you that,
anyway,
yes.
pal. I'll tell
Legend of
you what, though,
Spyro
guys,
was,
we weren't just gonna stand by and let
gosh.
Ripto ruin this day for the baby
Personnel
dragons.
jumped between all 3 of them. Did you remember Bianca was in this game?
Right, Sparks. Or the Dragonflies.
Well, everything is finally back to normal. Isn't it, Spyro?
Ba-na-ba, ba-na-ba. I didn't say it was a good ending. But yeah. Bianca said stuff at the beginning of the game. Like, briefly. I think she has, like, 3 lines. She's not in any of the rest of the game. At least Hunter is in, like, 2 of the minigame areas. But yeah, that's it. That's everything in this game, for the most part. I think I have one very small thing to show off afterwards, but, like, that's it. It's underwhelming. It's shorter than the other games, and not necessarily to say that, like, being shorter is a bad thing, but it's shorter in the sense that it for the German version playthrough. Oh boy. But it's shorter in the sense that it feels like the levels are twice as big as they should, and then there's, like, nothing to do in them. It's got the mini games. They got the pieces to, like, start making out a game, but they don't have enough levels. And everything that makes the game its length is just like, why? It's just, why? You're just making me, you know, padding it out. Tammy, yeah. And there's a number of people who are missing from these credits as well. It's people who worked on the game part way in development. And that's not to say that, like, and here's the thing. Just because that all these people's names are on this product that got shipped out, doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, like, they didn't care. And I think that should be a big thing, is that, like, some people internally may think others didn't care. But ultimately, it's like, I think the biggest problem that this game had is that it's a victim to an aggressive schedule that couldn't be overruled. The game needed to be coming out at this time, and for some odd reason, they got a bunch of developers who had never made a game before, let alone a Spyro game. They got incredibly lucky at least being able to pull the music through using old art assets, and also being able to pull, you know, voice talent and all that stuff. But ultimately, you know, like, what adds up? What's the part that I care about more in a Spyro game? The Tom Kenny delivering lines, or you know, actual gameplay? And doing something that isn't just in Spyro Year of the Dragon, because other than, like, a tank section and a plane section, I don't know, man. It's just like, we got slides, that's what people were doing. We got speedways, chase the egg thieves, and you get gems, and you collect named collectibles, I guess. I don't know, there's not really too much to say, so it's surprising that, like, this didn't kill the franchise, but certainly there was a lot of bad intention. There was a lot of bad, like, you know, people sort of got so burnt out over this one. It exists, exactly, yeah. But it sort of was like, also the fact that these credits are still going, I tell you. How many people are on this one, I tell you? I actually wonder if, like, they got extra studios to basically, like, just wrap it up for them. So, like, they weren't even... Because there was a fun one about, like, I remember when Superman 64, it was like the producer or the director didn't even know about all the features that didn't end up in the game. Like, he described the game in a way that, like, what do you mean? Like, all these features and being able to use all of Superman's powers, you gotta pick up the tokens, man. And, like, he probably just wasn't aware that, like, this kind of stuff was, you know, creeping into his game at the last minute. Forward, never straight, yeah. Your work is you. Don't let you down. And then it fades out in the middle of that sentence. A haunting sentence to, you know, leave you on that one. So, beating the game on 100% boots you back out to the title screen, as opposed to booting you out into, I guess, the hub world. But yeah, there's a couple of cheat codes that I just want to throw out there as well. So first of all, there's apparently one which oh, sorry, did I say cheat codes? I mean, hold on, can I... Yeah, can I leave here? Isn't that fun that we have to save in the boss room and that you can't leave unless you use this warp? It's a bit weird, but sure, okay. We got the loading screen to... No, I wanted to warp out to the... I wanted to go to the hub world. I wanted to go to the hub world, not to the... What? Is the game programmed to run the credits every time you leave that level? And you didn't quit? Guys, what are we doing? Mr. FO probably knows exactly. He'll be like, yeah, no, the credits just run. You know, whatever. It's like the freaking zooming in and out effect at the end of Superman 64. I'm going to keep mentioning that one. Meanwhile, Hitman, Silent Assassin, whatever, at Agent 47 hide the gun behind his back in the adverts and the cover, so people were like, oh man, this would be a super cool feature. Oh, exactly. Codename 47, I swear, is like freaking, like... It has... You can't conceal anything. If you have guns, it's just like, yep, you are just shooting people. You will shoot people for most of that game, so... but there exists a code, and I failed to be able to pull this off, apparently, and I don't know exactly why it's not working or whatever. But apparently, if you use a second controller, you're allowed to hit L3 and X at the same time. Does it have to be on the same frame? Maybe that's my problem, is that I struggle to hit two buttons on the exact same frame. But you're allowed to hit that, and then you're allowed to, like, free camera with the second controller. I unfortunately can't pull that off, but pretend that exists. There exists this cheat, where you can pause the... Actually, hold on. Maybe you can do this. Now does it work? Nope. Now does it work? No. It's worth a try. But I do hear things in my left ear all of a sudden, because the hub world doesn't seem to work right. It is maps, I can guarantee that, but I haven't been able to pull it off, so... It's free cam, you know, whatever, I'll just mention that it apparently is written down and people say that. You can do this one where you hit left, right, left, left, right, right, left, X. Yes? There you go, and Sparks turns blue. For some reason. You have to head off. Have a good one, Blub. See ya. We have this one, which lets you left, right, 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 X. The game proceeds to run in slow motion. The frame rate is still trash. Is that purple? No, Spyro is purple. He's blue. See, it's not the same color. Completely different. I'm actually very, like, colorblind. Sorry, yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks, sorry, yeah. Oh my gosh, it makes this fade effects really slow as well. Oh, why is everything so slow? Why have we made everything slow? Like, everything. Why is it all bound to the exact same thing? Ugh. Play the game like this and just pretend it's running in like really like fast motion. Fortunately, you can turn it off, so at least it's that. The last main cheat is that you can hit left, left, right, left, X. And you should be able to see in the sky, somewhere, this cow. That would be it for your cheat codes. This is kind of... Oh, and it's also dropping... That? What? What is this particle effect? Just go into the new Mario Kart game. What is this? What the... What are these little embryo freaking... Riptocs? What the heck? I don't know. So... Yeah, who knows what's going on there. Lucky Last as well. Discovered in the long-awaited year of 2019. If you're on this specific screen, you can hit... what's the one... What's the one thing? You hit circle, up, circle, circle, up. And then you scroll all the way to the end. Because also, yeah, we don't have skill points. We don't have, like, any proper, you know, any epilogue that the other games had, or any of that. But what you do have is, if you enter that cheat code, this page that says, "Thanks for the help, Spyro. Special thanks to Joel Goodsell, Brian Reed, Scott Smith, Randy Plank, Ken's Abdallah, and most of all, Donald Sampson, Less Than 3 Angel." So this is a bit of a secret developer credits. I don't think these people... were in the studio by the time the game shipped. and they were excluded from the credits. But secretly, they were there the whole time, and people didn't know. But that's kind of fun that, like, that was lingering in the game for, like, 17 years, and no one has discovered the code. Obviously, like, there's a lot of resource dumping, and it's probably very easy to see that, like, that text is in the code. But the fact that it's in the final product and something that you can actually see is definitely a lot different to it's just, you know, in the file somewhere. Because there's lots of things in the file, so you'd be like, you know... Like, there'll be tons of swear words and stuff in game files all the time, and it's just like, yeah, you know, most people don't see that. But yeah, it's very cute. Other than that, I don't really think there's anything else in this game. Is there any last-minute thing to mention? Flaming money bags? Let's do it. There exists other things if you, like, you know, use action replay and you push, or you just change, you know, memory in RetroArch, or, well, not RetroArch, in the PCSX2, the Retro Achievements integration. You could probably change some things, and you can, you know, I think there's a fly cheat, so you get to fly like you're in the Speedway minigames, and there's also a level select kind of cheat, but there's not really, you know, you don't really get too much out of those. Other than that, yeah, this game's a curiosity when it comes to, oh, I love...
You did a great job saving the Dragon Master,
this cutscene kicking in, because the text can't finish. The text can't finish. I'm constantly getting told the level's complete. So, let's try and find money bags for a hot second. But yeah, its development cycle is certainly a curious one. I definitely recommend watching Mr. FO's video, the big documentary on just like what was in the development. I feel like there's a lot of padding and a lot of like conjecture in that documentary as well. But I do also feel like, you know, some of the responses are definitely people who are just like, why would you like care? Why do you want to remember this? And some people are like, I'm so glad that you cared and remembered. And I think that speaks to the heart of, you know, all the topics that have sort of come up over this past like few weeks, which is just people do care. And I hope a lot of people... See, I took a hit and Sparks doesn't change color at all. So he programmed a skill point where you flame money back. Oh my gosh.
Thanks, Spyro. These gems are...
He already said this line as well. Think about it, he doesn't do anything else in the rest of the game, but he's in the manual. It doesn't do anything though, I'll tell you that. But it's cathartic nonetheless. But yeah, no, its development cycle is legendary, and certainly some people did really try. And I certainly do think that they needed more time to iterate. They needed more time to refine, really make everything right. I don't think it's something that realistically could have been done in a time schedule that would have made anyone happy. I do think that, you know, there's a certain thing I always say where it's like, if you had infinite time, you'd get there if your heart's in the right place. Certainly for a commercially released product, you gotta juggle between, you know, how much is too much and how much is like, oh yeah, you know, like, we can get away with that. But yeah, this game clearly falls on the line of it's not ready. And the fact that they were willing to ship this out in a state that, you know, is like this, it's kind of shocking. That being said, I mean, it works. It doesn't crash. Just because I had a final boss, aka the only boss, freeze on me, just because I've clipped through the floor probably more than a half dozen times, and voice lines play at the wrong time, and the polygons start to glitch out on me all of a sudden, and you know, all the backtracking and some of the level design really doesn't really mean anything, and the voice actors really don't care, and the music's sort of a bit lame, and the performance is kind of shocking at times, and some of the levels feel very uninspired. It's all sort of taken from Spyro 3, including the fact that like Moneybags is here, only to just lower these 3 platforms and move on with his life in these places. And given that most of the enemies are just sort of flame them and that's it, it's not really that hard of a game. Given all of that, it's not the worst game I've ever played, but it's certainly not a good one. And I would definitely say most people should witness this as a curiosity venture to say, hey, it can get worse. And not necessarily because it's not by the original devs, but it's because it's done under a very kind of, how to put it, an incompetent kind of project management kind of angle. And I think that speaks more to project managers and stakeholders and stuff like that more than the developers themselves, although I won't exactly say the developers are scot-free, because it's like, well, obviously, you know, you're not delivering on the product they expected, but, you know, if they didn't have that much time to develop it, and it actually really isn't that much time, it's like, you know, it depends on what they were asked to do, what they were iterating on, how the project management... Because here's the thing, for example, they had lots of ideas that didn't make it into the end product, and so a part of me wonders, was that them faffing around, or was that the studio director sort of changing his mind and sort of like, hey, you know, actually, let's not do it like this. But sir, we've got 2 weeks until the game goes gold, and we still got to design more levels. Quickly scrap together a hub world, call it, like just like that, you know, like it depends on where the calls were. I don't think we'll ever hear that information come out, but I think it's worth just noting that, like, yeah, you know, failed projects do still come from hopefully well-intentioned origins. Even games like Concord. There were developers who clearly wanted to do something and really wanted to try and make something about that. And I'll rip on Concord because that game was in development for 9 years before Sony bought them. So you can't blame Sony for trying to ship it. Seriously, that game... I don't care. Something was going on in that studio well before Sony bought them, so... but yeah, I don't really think I've got too much else. Do I have anything else on my tabs? No, not really. That's kind of it. Ubisoft stock price is going down. I don't think the lawsuit helps. But that's it. That's really it. So with that, I would like to thank you all so very, very much for watching. I have a video to watch. That is true. I do have a video to watch. If you enjoyed the stream, you can follow on Twitch, where I stream every 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight. No, we're standard time now. We're back to standard time. Also, not every week, because not next week. Next week is Easter, so I want to take a nice break. But yeah, if you missed part of it, VOD will be on YouTube. You can also follow me at the Fediverse, m.biendeo.com. And yeah, it's been nice and chill, and I do feel like it's a weird game. It's a tough one, because this is the first one where I'd actually say, like, yeah, I don't really recommend this one. But it's certainly, like, I think if you look at the Spyro trilogy, you have to, not you have to, but it's very interesting to suddenly see, like, what happens next in a very, very, like, dismissive way. It's a very curious one, so give it a check. Watch the Mr. FO video, watch AI Ruin My Life video, and watch this other video from Beluda News about the law finally catching up about AAA games. So have a good one, fellas. Peace.